Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to RTG Mondays. We are back once again in Silverstone for round 7, I believe it is. We have 15 drivers this evening. Shame to see a few people out, but nonetheless, enough to give us a really good evening worth of racing. As we wait for everyone to get ready in qualifying, short qualifying as usual, followed by a 50% distance race. I, for one, am very excited to get going. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, this is going to be very, very exciting. The season has, it has to be said, pretty much been dominated between Josh McGill and Robbo. Josh McGill currently leading the way on 182 points, but Robbo just behind on 178, and things have been a bit spicy between them as well recently. So, one to keep an eye out on. Not far behind. In third place in the championship, it is RTG Chuckle, but he's away on holiday on 131 points, and he's a little way behind in the championship, so this really cements his position. Paul Jones is, I believe, attending tonight. Yes, he is. I can see his name on the list. He's on 122 points, so he has a chance to snatch third in this championship. By the looks of it, I think there's been a lot of... Who's won? Josh McGill's won... like the first 4 races on the trot, and I think I know he's certainly won 3 races. Robbo might have won 3 as well, I think, but it's pretty much been dominated between the two of them, which is going to be very interesting who's going to get the better of who this evening. McLaren leading the way by some substantial margin, it has to be said. 257 points to 198 Ferrari. That's typical Ferrari, what we used to see in lounging behind in the constructors, so no great surprise there. I mean, in real life, no offence to the Ferrari drivers here, of course. Thank you very much, everyone who's joining. If you are watching along live, do get involved. Join in with your opinions, as long as they're not too strong. The usual: who's your favourite driver? Who do you want to watch? Tell me I'm doing a terrible job. Come and have some banter. Whatever you want to do, get involved. Get commenting, get liking, get in subscribing to that channel, and we will ride on board, shall we, with Josh McGill. Let's do this. We started doing this again. So into turn 1 we go now. The new start finish straight, absolutely flat through here, nice and easy. Flat through turn 2 as well. Into turn 3, heavy on the brakes. Don't take too much curb. Or a big snap of oversteer. Don't do that either. And then it's slow the car down. You roll it back, getting the line, getting on the power as early as you can here, because it's then flat through the left-hand kink and down one of the straights. I can't remember what they're called. Who knows what they're called? And into the awkward left-hander, and it's take a lot of speed in, but try not to wash away too much on the exit, and then you can go quite deep into this corner and get square off the exit and take it like a V it off a bit more, a bit like Fernando Alonso style, and then down into the old start finish straight, absolutely flat for the old turn 1, nice and easy in these cars, absolute piece of cake. And then into our favourite complex, Magus and Beckett's, absolutely flat through the first couple, and then just down 1 gear, then down another gear for the right hander, and then on the power as early as you can. Don't lose the back end, Sergio Perez style, down to the main straight, and this will be your main overtaking opportunity come the race day. Get the car over to the left, and then swinging into the right, run as wide as you dare without invalidation or getting track limits. Hard on the brakes into the final chicane. Neat and tidy through here, very difficult to get on the power, and cross the line, and there we have it, 25.9 straight away to the top of the timing boards. Josh McGill goes. Who have we got? Pippo Kennedy and then McLaren. Wow, that's a great lap from him. That's quicker than Josh McGill. I know Josh McGill had a bit of a scruffy lap there, but nonetheless, great lap from Pippo. Straight to the top. Through Championship. Looney Man, last of the runners. Who else have we got? Oh, it was GT Ord who now goes last of the runners. Also, nice to see him back again. As we go, we'll watch Robbo actually in the other McLaren. Let's see what he can do. There's Bugatti say lap time good enough for 6th. through the old start finish straight. The McLaren goes absolutely flat, nice and easy. Shouldn't lift there whatsoever. Way too easy in these cars, too much downforce. Through Maggots and Beckett's. There's a yellow flag, it's just for a car slowing down up ahead. Nothing to worry about, they're well off the line. There's speaking about off the line, Robbo gets a little bit off the ideal line there through the exit. And that's for Ferrari well off the line, keep him well out of the way. Probably a little over the top, but fair enough. Good to see him out the way. Lewis G goes P2. That's a great lap for Lewis G. Not far behind either. Through the final chicane, Robbo goes. What's this going to be? Is he going to set down an early gauntlet, or is it Josh McGill's for the taking? It's going to be an early gauntlet for Robbo, and by some considerable margin, 0.4 of a second. He goes ahead of his teammate to make this a McLaren 1-2. Great stuff from him. What more? How much more does Josh McGill have? We did ride on board with his lap. We know he's got more to give. How much more is the question? That is the question. Paul Jones Jr. in the Alfa Romeo. Very wide of the apex leading into that chicane. So easily done. Through the final corner he goes on the power nicely. And up to P6 for the Alfa Romeo. Potentially within a chance of taking P3 this evening. Prof comes round and final corner as well, and he's going to stick it in P11. Only two drivers yet set a lap, Danny and Flea, both in the pits at the moment. Anyone on a particular lap? Ross G might be on a lap, he's a little bit up in the Ferrari. So let's see what he can manage. Down the old start finish straight he goes. Turn in. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Through into Maggots and Beckers as he goes. You've got to use all that downforce on that car. Look how just responsive those cars are. It's just stupid the amount of grip they give. Just throw it in and it just sticks with it. DRS wide open. Down to fairly heavy braking zone considering how quick the corner is. But you are arriving at it at quite a lot of speed. You can really throw the car in, and that's what this circuit's all about, high-speed corners. Oh, lot of curb there, and that's an invalidation. He took way too much curb. It would have been a 26.6. It was probably, well, one an improvement anyway. So not really anything to write home about. I think that's it. Pretty much everyone. Let's see, Ross, is he going and continuing? No, he's invalidated this lap as well, so he cannot improve. Paul's coming in. Josh McGill going for an outlap. Flea is on an outlap as well. Not really much going on at the moment. So yeah, if you are joining in the chat, get involved. Give me something to talk about. Tell me how much I like waffling and how terrible I am at it. I always love listening and reading to your opinions. Listening and reading? Who knows? Nobody really cares. I have just had a message. I have just had a message from Paul. Actually, he's messaged me to say that he left his brake bias at 70%. I think he wanted the world to know that that wasn't just him that was driving terribly. I mean, that's quite an impressive lap, to be fair, with 70% brake bias. Probably not the ideal bias. You want it right back on this track. You want it right back about 54, maybe even 53 if you're feeling brave. Certainly in qualifying, I'd run 53, I think, around here. The car nearly gotten in the way. Coming out the exit there of Flea as he goes through turns 1 and 2 and through this slightly more slow speed section. Oh, and he's gone round. He's Perez'd it. He's round and round and in the grass. Keeps it out the barriers. This is not going to be a great lap time from the Red Bull. The world's most expensive lawnmower right there. And away he goes. Number 13 being a little bit unlucky for him, perhaps, this evening. Josh McGill now on a flying lap. Let's see whether he can improve. It was a bit of a scruffy lap the first time round, so we know he's got time to improve. He's got time to gain. His kind of Fernando Alonso-esque helmet. He's already 3.5 tenths up, so that's a bit more like it from the Red Bull. Jesus, I just saw red and just said red. Honestly, From the Ferrari driver, that was many Ferrari drivers absolutely jumping in. Well, Enzo Ferrari's jumping in his grave right now at me. But through he goes. We'll try and get it right the next time round. Into Maggots and Beckett's, the Ferrari goes. That just so happens to be red and not a bull. It's a prancing horse, I think you'll find. And he is 3.5 tenths up still. He's gained 0.02 of a second pretty much through the middle sector. So absolutely keeping it like for like. Not too much to gain there. That looked rather wide and on the edge through that corner. Did he gain? Did he lose? Well, we yet to find out. There's a bit of curb on the inside of the first part of the chicane, but it's neat and tidy, running it wide on the exit. It's going to be a big improvement. He's lost a bit of time though, 25.657, but he lost a tenth and a bit in that final sector. So once again, Josh McGill probably ruined what could have been. Sure, he's going to be disappointed with that. Pippo now goes purple apparently in the middle sector. Let's see whether this is. Down the old start finish straight he goes. Throws the car into the right hander. Sticks like, I don't know what sticks. Glue sticks. Sticks like glue. That'll do. Through Maggots and Beckett's he goes. We've not no idea what car we're watching. That one we're watching. There we go. The Papaya McLaren. Through he goes. Uses a bit of grass on the exit. Nothing wrong with that. You can get away with it through there. I do that an awful lot. He's 2.5 tenths up nearly. It won't be enough to see any further position improvement at the moment, but it'll be pretty close. He certainly wants to get a bit closer to those top two. He has a Williams in front of him. That is absolutely going to get in his way. That is giving him dirty air. And that is far from ideal. And the Williams has had to get out of the way. Who was that? We'll have to find out. It's an improvement, but I think that's possibly lost him a bit of time. Who was it? It wasn't Looneyman. It was Prof. So, Prof may be finding himself in the stewards for that one. Didn't see the McLaren coming quite so quick. To the last minute. Lewis G now on a lap. Let's keep with him. Using a lot of curb on the entry there. Things you love to see. Throwing the car in a little bit too aggressively. I called that as it was coming. He was just chucking the car left and right, and normally they stick, but he was just using a bit too much of the curbs. Just unsettled the car towards the exit, and that's the DRS board all over the track in the way of the Alpha Tauri coming past. There's going to be no improvement for now for the Alpine, but he's got plenty of time to get in and back out for another lap. Let's ride on board. No, we won't. We ride on board with car number 69 because it says he's on a lap, but he's not on a lap because his battery's off. So he must be on an out lap, and the game's lying to me once again. Bugatti definitely isn't on a lap. He's coming in the pits. Royal Rumble, he's not on a lap. He's invalidated. Prof, is he on a lap? That's a good idea. Let's watch this Williams as he comes in. No, he's not on a lap either. So nobody's on a lap, seemingly. Where is Royal Rumble? Some interesting choice of line. The only person about... Oh, Ross G's on a lap. Paul's given up the ghost. Maybe he started a lap, perhaps, and then just bailed out. He obviously made a mistake. Not used to running the brake bias so far back, I think, perhaps. Ooh, shades thrown. McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari. That's what we're looking like at the top of the board. So, McLaren looking to extend their lead in the championship. Obviously, no points for qualifying, remember? Actually, no, you used to get a point for pole? You should do. I think you should do. I think top 3 should get points. Not much, but just a little bit. Got to reward some speed. Through the Ferrari goes, really throwing that Ferrari around, but he's way wide of the apex of the corner. He might want to call a taxi to that apex. But I don't think he's... I don't know, his battery is on, it's just running really, really low, so he must be on a second lap. Oh, running very wide, and that's invalidated. He calls it a day. I mean, you're never going to get a decent lap time out of it with your ERS quite so low as well, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Flea jumps in the pits. He still hasn't set a lap, so rather disappointing from the Red Bull driver. Frost's on an outlap, Danny's on an outlap, Looney Man's on an outlap, Lewis G on an outlap, Robbo's on a lap. So this will be an interesting one. Let's watch with the McLaren of Robbo, shall we? We get see Aston Martin absolutely in his way into turn 1. Who was that? No, it wasn't Matthew. No, he's in the pit, so it must have been Orsat. I don't think it held him up too much, but it certainly would have affected him or played with his judgment potentially as he goes through sector 1 in around the ever long hairpin. Great place to watch if you're watching it live. Corner lasts forever when you're driving it, especially in something slow and with no downforce. Honestly, you go into it and you're just waiting for the front to grip, waiting for the front. And I can get on the throttle, and you just can't. You got to wait for an eternity to be able to get on the throttle, unless you just want to spear straight off into the gravel trap. But it's a minor improvement for Robbo, nearly a 10th up. DRS wide open. In the right hander he goes. Lots of time to gain or lose through here with commitment. Sheer bravery. 1 minute 40 on the clock. Everybody needs to really be on an outlap if they want to get another lap in through across the line. I think it's going to be an improvement. It certainly is. 10th and a half. 125. 383. That's laying down the gauntlet now. And I'm just going to embarrass Paul a little bit more because he's messaging me. He tried to do that lap with no ERS on. Oh dear. Paul. So we know we've got a lot to gain from Paul. As he gets ready to do his next lap. We're going to watch Lewis G in the Alpine perhaps round off a flying lap of his own. Into the final chicane he goes, little lock up, nothing too untoward, easily done. Generally the game shows me that anyway, even if he hasn't. Across the line he goes. What's it going to be? It's going to be a long way down on his previous best. So Paul crossing the line. He's going to go on to a lap. Who have we got on a lap? Danny on a lap. Looney Man on a lap. Let's watch Looney Man as he rounds the final chicane. Can he find an improvement? Get himself further up than 10th. He's on a 26.4 at the moment. What's this going to be? It's going to be an improvement. A massive improvement. 26.006. Great lap there from the Williams. What is... Yeah, I'm not even going to ask where that is. We've got a Hassel Royal Rumble round. One of the final corners. Flea's about to start a lap, so hopefully he can actually get a lap on the board this time. I'm sure. Oh, bit of a slide there from Royal Rumble. Across the line he goes. What's it going to be? It's not going to be an improvement from him. That's disappointing. Who is next? It's going to be one of the Alpines. Lewis G is improving. That's a lot of curbing to Maggots. Through he goes, gets the car thrown in. There's a lot of oversteer. There's a big twitch around he is. He's off into the barrier, into the gravel. He's lucky he didn't DNF. Not that it would matter too much, but that is disappointing from him. Paul, probably the next across the line now. I imagine the next on a lap. Let's see what he can do, because I don't think Danny's coming in. So Paul, let's see what he can actually do when he forgets, or when he remembers to use his battery and the right brake bias. Takes a lot of curb there. What's he going to be able to do? It's going to be a big improvement of a 10th. 25.9. So, yeah. I'm not sure he's going to be particularly happy with that. D-Mac through the final 2 corners now. What's he going to manage? I don't think Prof goes across the line. He doesn't improve. D-Mac, will he be able to improve? Across the line, he does. An 8/10 improvement. Gets him up to P11. Great stuff. Great stuff from him. I also didn't see, I think Josh McGill stayed in the pits. He chose not to come back out. Matthew did pip him at the end. We missed that, so apologies. I really wasn't paying attention. 25.497 from Matthew. That's a great lap from him. zone. He didn't have a very good lap at all. But there you have it. Robbo takes pole. Matthew takes P2. Splits the McLarens and the Ferraris. So I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. But looking to take it one step further come the race. I'm going to disappear very quickly. Will not be long. I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned for the race. Can't wait. And here we go. So I've just joined back just as we are going 5 laps. And away we go for the Silverstone Grand Prix with the Monday tier. It looks like it's been a great start from the Aston Martin, but Robbo manages to hold him off. There's a Ferrari round. There's also an blooming hell, an Alfa Romeo round in the background. I'm losing my words. Trying to jump straight back into it. I think that's Paul Jones, who's had an abysmal start to this race. Josh McGill, Ross G up. Pippo's dropped back positions. Who else have we got other than that? It looks like a fairly clean start. Don't know what happened to Paul. He must have got a bit of contact. Flees up one position. He is... Oh, he's going to make a move on Orsak. Great stuff from him. Oh, there's massive carnage. Royal Rumble's out. There's cars sideways in the track. What is going on? Looney Man's been involved. Danny's been involved. Danny's got a penalty for contact with Looney Man. Absolute carnage. Absolute carnage. What went on there? Somebody must have lost it. Somebody spun. I don't know, but we have a safety car, and I need to take the breath right away because wow, what a start that was. I cursed it. I said it was gonna. I said what a clean start we've had. Wow, but yeah, Robbo holds the lead. Let's do some important stuff. Let's check tyre strategy, shall we? So most of the grid starting on hard tyres. I must admit it's looking a bit overcut, so I'm wondering whether there's going to be race like later on. Potentially. It's an interesting call. Is anyone going to pit? Possibly Bugatti? No. D-Max pitting. Is it for damage or is he going on different tyre strategy? He started on the softs. Into the pits he goes. There's no wing change, it's just a new set of tyres. And through out the pits he goes, joining the back of the queue. And away he goes. And joining the back of the queue. Danny also in the pits. He might have had a bit of damage, I think, from all that contact. And wait for them to catch up. But yeah, Robbo on hards, Matthew on mediums. That's why he's jumped a position. So see if we can get up position change. There it is. Oh no, he didn't get up a position. He was P2 anyway. Of course he was. He got P2 at the end of quali, and I didn't notice. That's why. But yeah, Ross G up a position. He's on the medium, so no surprise there. Pippo on the hards, probably why he's dropped back a little bit. Prof on the softs, rather interestingly. But yeah, Paul Jones Jr. was a bit of he's not come in to the wing change, so no damage, but ended up sideways in turn one. Don't know what happened there. Was it a mistake of his own doing? Was it contact? Was it trying to avoid somebody? Well, maybe have to wait for the stewards. Who knows? Wait to see. But Robbo leads this race. It is certainly looking rather overcast. It looks like it could rain. I would say it's not unheard of that this might rain by the end of the race. Yeah. What does this do for the strategy? I mean, this certainly helps the hard runners. Absolutely, it takes away that little bit of the advantage the softs and the mediums may have initially. That first couple of laps where you really struggle to bed the hards in. It's sort of takes that advantage away. So this is definitely helping Robbo, Josh, Pippo, Bugatti, Flea, Looney Man, Paul, D-Mac and Danny. Flea having a good start there, up to P10, albeit thanks to a bit of carnage, but making good position on his hard tyres. As the safety car goes down and no drivers, there's helmets. There's floating helmets that are driving that car. That is probably the strangest and most horrifying thing I've ever seen, and that will live with me for the rest of my life. While I try and forget that as best as I can, that horrific image of two helmets driving a Mercedes. Actually, no words. Away we go round once again. Josh McGill trying to get a bit of tyre temperature into his tyres. Who's your money on for this race? Who do we reckon's going to win? I mean, Robbo's been pretty untouchable recently, hasn't he? But Josh McGill's there. He's been giving it his best go. Can he get close? Can he get him this evening? He's got a car in between him and Robbo though, but he'll be pleased because that car is on mediums and might have the pace to start attacking Robbo and holding him up potentially for a little bit. But it could definitely throw a spanner in the works as we wait to get going once again. Robbo now becomes the de facto safety car. He chooses the pace. The only thing he can't do is accelerate and then brake. He has to keep it at a fairly steady pace. He can gently accelerate or gently brake, but no sudden speed up or slow down. Matthew looking to get an nudge on him. Tucking a nose up the inside. Now going around the outside, and Robbo's going with a little bit of wheel spin. He is going, and he absolutely has not really caught Matthew napping at all. Josh McGill's definitely gone with him, but Josh McGill's gone very deep into that chicane, and that could leave him vulnerable to his teammate. There's a lot of wiggling going on for the rear end of that first Ferrari, and Ross G's loving the sight of this, especially with the mediums on. Will there be team orders? I very much doubt it. Looney Man gets ahead of Flea. Great restart from him, and he goes past. Josh McGill struggling on this restart, nearly a second behind going into the first sector. Matthew sticking with Robbo though. Can he mount a charge in these early laps? No DRS, remember. We need to wait a couple of laps for DRS to be enabled, but Josh McGill is absolutely struggling here. He really needs to keep with these guys. His teammate Ross, he's only holding up at this point. But Josh McGill will not want to let his teammate by. He will want to be the lead Ferrari here, especially in terms of strategy. Paul makes a move on Flea, and Flea just gives him a little tap for his troubles, and off onto the grass he goes. And all that hard work of the first couple of laps has come undone. Orsak gets overtaken by Looney Man, who gets up to P9. Great stuff there for Looney Man on those hard tyres. Brilliant restart from him, up 2 positions. And Robbo is already pulling away from Matthew, but we know, we've seen before, Robbo does like to use his battery, and look how much he's used. He's dumped nearly his whole battery in 1 lap. I've got to question the logic of that. I really do. Ross G and Josh McGill trade positions. Ross G now the lead Ferrari. Josh McGill will not be happy with that, but probably for the best in the long run at the moment. Josh McGill really struggling. Hopefully Ross can tow him up. Back again. They've lost a lot of time. Robbo fastest lap, unsurprisingly. Look at him. He's used his whole battery in 1 go. Matthew has way more, and if Matthew's clever about this, which it looks like he's being at the moment, he may have lost DRS at the minute, but he can use a little bit to get back closer to him. He will inevitably be quicker over the next couple of laps. Crazy, crazy stuff. Very, very impatient, I think. Because look, Matthew's reeling him in already. It's just, yeah, on those hards, there's no point. It's just no point. But yeah, Paul looking at the back of Orsat in the Aston Martin, who goes very deep, very wide line through there. That's not V in the corner off, it's just going around. And Josh McGill losing more positions yet again. Now Lewis G makes a move in the Alpine round the outside. Lewis G also on those mediums, so Josh McGill dropping like a stone at the moment. Paul does get past the Aston Martin, so great stuff from him. Matthew now crawling in this gap. And look, he's in DRS, and DRS is going to be activated next lap. And so, for me, Robbo's just wasted his battery for nothing. I don't know. Maybe he's got something else in mind that I can't see at this point. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but DRS enabled. Matthew just dropped out of it for a minute. Can he get it back in? There's your detection point. Coming into the braking zone, and he's in it. And he's got DRS. 2 seconds back to Ross G though. And Josh McGill struggling. Matthew loses a bit on exit, but he will gain it. Look there with the DRS. He will gain a good couple of tenths back. One would like to think so, and he certainly does. There it is, couple of tenths indeed. And Robbo trying to burn it yet again, but Matthew's just got more in the tank. And I mean, it saves him being under attack early on, I guess, but if you've got that pace, yeah, I don't know. There we go. Matthew well within DRS, comfortably within DRS right now. And through Maggots and Beckett's they go. Let's see how these hard tyres hold up against the mediums. They've got a 2-second lead, so these two absolutely checking out up front. Lewis G gonna be making a move on his brother Ross G round the outside. He goes. I don't know whether they're brothers. Who knows? I'm going to call them brothers. But what a move that was from Lewis G. Great stuff from the Alpine, and into P3 he goes, and he's absolutely mugged his fellow namesake off. I don't know whether they're brothers. They came in at the same time. They got similar names. I'm calling them brothers, and that'll do for me. Somebody in the chat, if you know them, tell me otherwise. But Matthew a lot closer to Robbo. Speaking of brothers, Matthew and winning races. They're normally brothers. They happen so often. And DRS wide open, and he is very close. And Lewis G is just closing into the back of these guys a little bit. And Bugatti Sloven being overtaken by Prof. And GT Ord had a bit of a moment in the first sector. So I think we're going to go back with the lead, because Matthew is all over the back of this McLaren. All over him. And has more battery. He has more grip, more battery. And I think he's got more confidence right now. And look at him follow through there. That is amazing stuff. He's so close to the back of that McLaren and yet still getting the grip. And I think this is going to be a reasonably easy overtake. To the inside, the Aston Martin goes and into the lead of the British Grand Prix. Matthew goes. Great stuff there from him. That's the thing you love to see. An Aston Martin leading the British Grand Prix. Bugatti Sloven in the Mercedes goes at the inside of Prof and he gets the position in P7. But Prof may come back at him now. No, he decides to back out of it. But they're fighting at the lead. Lewis G, he's closing that gap. He is closing it up. And I think Matthew needs to be clever here. He needs to save battery. Doesn't necessarily need to be ahead because he's never going to pull away from DRS. I think that's unattainable as Looney Man makes a move on Prof, but Looney Man now making a move on Bugatti and up to P7 he goes. Great stuff. Prof, his teammate's going to be looking to find an entry, but he gets the door slammed shut in his face, and through goes Paul Jones Jr. in the Alfa Romeo. Great stuff. That was opportunistic, wasn't it? And through they go down the second straight. Really, they go. They're side by side into the left-hander. Paul has the inside. The Williams will have the outside, which will turn to the inside for the next corner, but he's just not far enough alongside, and Paul has that move, and onto Bugatti he goes. Can he make that move? But yeah, Matthew, I think he just needs to be clever here. As Lewis G gets in DRS. Matthew needs more battery. He's never going to get out of DRS. His main issue, or his big benefit in this race is going to be by getting an undercut, and the undercut's huge around here. It really is. Through Robbo goes. I think Matthew just needs to sit behind, be towed along with DRS, save 100% battery, or maybe try and make Robbo waste his as much as possible, and then use it all in an undercut, massive undercut. And RTG Prof right on the back of Danny. Can he make a move? No, he cannot. Through they go. Bit of a train from Looney Man backwards. Looney Man fighting his way to the front of the train in P7. Great stuff, but 4.5 second gap to Pippo up ahead, and I think the lead pack is well gone. Pippo just struggling to stay with the lead pack as well. The rest of them now all pretty much together. Josh McGill, the only driver out of a second, but he does have DRS at the moment. And he is back ahead of his teammate as well, so I'm not sure what happened there. We missed that. Yellow flag, sector 1, I think that's Flea. Who is just a hazard. Sorry, Flea. You know I love you, really. Through Robbo goes. What can he manage to do? And Matthew isn't really saving his battery too much. I think he needs to be being a bit more clever here. I think Matthew needs to save a little bit more than he is doing. Ross G very close to his teammate, but Ross doesn't have any battery. Josh McGill doesn't have much either. Paul now makes a move on Bugatti Sloven around the outside. Not many moves you see going on around the outside there, but he's made that one stick, and on the tail of Looney Man, who was dropped back a little bit from the lead pack, about half a second more. Can Paul get to the front of this pack and then perhaps chase back after the lead pack? We shall see. He's 7/10 behind. Can he make any moves? Josh McGill, a little wiggle on the exit. No DRS. He's just a second out down the road, and he is struggling somewhat. Just not really quite got the pace this evening. Has the Ferrari driver. Two drivers who do have the pace, Robbo and Matthew. And I'll tell you what, Lewis G, add him to that. Because he has got some great pace. He's absolutely burning all of his battery, whereas the top two aren't as much. Matthew saved a bit, that's good. Good from him, I think. Robbo using a little bit more now, but he's nearly got Matthew out of DRS range, so Matthew's going to be forced to use it a little bit, but I think he's in it anyway. He just needs to breathe confidence. Hards will start getting better now. Every lap that passes by, the mediums will get slightly worse, the hards will get slightly better in comparison, but Robbo has no battery left at all. Matthew can see that with that flashing light up ahead. There it goes. So he will know that the McLaren has less than, what is it, 15%? Yeah, 10% I think, isn't it? Deployment. Looney Man is in the pits. No, he's not. Looney Man is round. Oh, what has happened there? That is a disaster for the Williams. Danny in the pits for the undercut. Looney Man lost an awful lot of time, no doubt. There, Paul now 6 seconds behind Pippo. And looking to chase after him, and it's going to be a tough ask for now. Danny in the pits, and away he goes. Fresh set of mediums. On he goes. It's a long way to go on mediums. Where's his wing? Codemasters. Where is his wing? Somebody help me. I'm not imagining that, am I? No, there it is. What is going on? I mean, that Alpine is generating a lot of downforce on the front, considering it's got no wing. Like, fair play to the man. Absolutely fair play, and yeah, just unreal scenes. Unreal scenes. Oh, this game is wonderful at times. Truly, truly wonderful. I mean, obviously that's sarcastic. It's absolutely abysmal. Back to the lead we go. Ross G in the pits. He's going for the undercut. That's not a bad shout from the Ferrari driver. Lewis G just about clinging on. No battery left, and he may have been out of DRS there at the detection point. The game certainly showed him as such. Whether he will be or not, you never know. This game makes up his own rules as he goes. We'll see as we go across the DRS line. Yes, he was. No DRS for the Alpine, but there's definitely DRS for Matthew. But Lewis G getting a great run out of there and catching back up again. Let's see, where's Ross G? He's in a bit of clean air as well. So he should be able to get a nice undercut. Because there's less drivers in, they're more spread out as well. The undercut will be worth that little bit more, just because you're not going to be held up by traffic quite so much. Through they go. Matthew taking a lot of curb. Not really having saved that much battery either. Considering how close he is following behind, he's not really saved a huge amount. DRS wide open. He might be close enough to make a move. Is he going to go for it? We will wait and see. Down the inside. Yes, he is. He's going to make a move down the inside. Robbo sees him coming, leaves him room. He's going to hang it around the outside, but the Aston Martin gets the drive out of the corner and into the lead of the Grand Prix he goes. Lewis G pits in the meantime. Robbo has all the grip in the world through the chicane and a much better car at slow speed. And he's pushing the Aston Martin through, but it's not enough. And down to P2 Robbo goes. And these two fighting is ideal, because Lewis G now and Ross G, they're looking to get the undercut. Fresh hards for Lewis, and I think he's in a great position here. The only thing is he hasn't got much battery, which is not going to help him at all. And I think that really is going to seal the deal in the end. But these two perhaps got a little bit more on pure pace. Matthew doing very well on those aging mediums to still be fighting this McLaren, not just sticking with him. He is fighting him pretty hard and getting ahead as well. So great stuff there. Robert haven't done very well on those hards from the beginning. Obviously that safety car would have helped him a little bit. Well, a fair amount to be fair. It does make a big difference. But through they go. Matthew running a little bit wide of each apex, perhaps his tyre grip just lounging off somewhat, and I think Matthew needs to go for an undercut here. He's going to be overtaken by Robbo here. Robbo goes to the inside. Ross G gets the time penalty for corner cutting. So easily done around this track. What's Matthew going to do? Is he going to stay with the DRS? No, he's going to fight it. He's going to go at the inside into the chicane, and there's not much space there, but just about enough. They both get through. Matthew wants to take this fight as long as he can. This will slow them down, and this will be... Lewis G will be very happy about this, because this will be letting him get a big undercut on them. Paul in the pits. And he managed to set his brake bias correctly as he came in the pits. That's always a good start. Josh McGill really struggling. 3 seconds down the road, the top two. Will come strong a bit later on, but think a podium's the best he can ask for today. With Lewis and Ross G both there fighting. I think, yeah, Lewis G is in a great position. He's 27 seconds behind the leader. It's 29, 30 seconds for a pit stop round here. It's a long old time. I think it's 30, nearly 30. So at the moment I see the leaders pitting and coming out probably around Ross G area here. Maybe behind. Certainly as the laps roll on, Ross will inevitably get an undercut. But yeah, that's where they're looking at potentially pitting into. Neither of the top two has much battery. They're not going to have much to fight with. Matthew stays out. I think Matthew could be looking at going to softs here, you know. It is doable. It is absolutely doable. Josh McGill, he's definitely going mediums from here. Yeah, I think Matthew's idea is to go to softs. Which isn't a bad shout. It isn't a bad shout. They will get hot round here, but they are good. They are very good. Certainly 8 laps is achievable on them, I would say, with decent grip. You may struggle towards the end, but I think you'll be okay. But yeah, Matthew's sticking with Robbo quite nicely, and yeah, if that was his plan, I think he just needs to stick with him. Forget attacking him, just stick with him. That's what he needs to do. Josh McGill out. He's 3 seconds behind his teammate, but he is on fresh medium tyres and will inevitably call that gap right back. I mean, the time penalty's got the position anyway. But can he get close enough to Lewis G? Can he get enough of an undercut to perhaps challenge the leaders? Certainly for a lap or two. Pippo pits in P8. Paul Jones catching up with Orsat, who is yet to make a pit stop in this race. Oh, Robbo's in the pits. Robbo in the pits. Matthew stays out. So yeah, Matthew's going for the softs, and I think that's a great call. I think that's a really good call. It's brave. It's difficult, but he's gonna, you know, if he can make it work, it's the best one. It's got to be what he's for. There's no way he would be going on to hards at this point. Do 16 laps only to do 10 laps on hards. There's no way he would do it. Lewis G round the final corner. He is bound to overtake the McLaren. Absolutely. Because that McLaren is just crawling right now. Ross G will probably get him. Will Josh McGill get him? No, I don't think it. Ross G, I'll tell you what, actually might not. It's going to be close. Robbo comes out ahead. Ross G could do his teammate a favour in the championship here, and if he can quickly get Robbo napping. But Robbo's going to be using battery. He certainly is. They both are using battery. Those tyres on that McLaren warming up fairly nicely. I think Ross just needed to be a little bit closer actually in the end. And Josh McGill, yeah, catching these guys quite well. So yeah, Rossi now just needs to tag on the DRS. I was thinking maybe he could try and attack Robbo to try and help his teammate, but yeah, Robbo's just too quick for him. Too quick for him at the moment. He will get a chance to DRS down the straight. Matthew into the pits. Matthew in the pits, so he's going to be pitting. He doesn't want to be undercut too much at this point. Robbo running very wide there. I think he was just about on track. But he was okay. But Ross might be close enough to make a move here. He certainly is. Down the inside. This is going to be doing his teammate a favour. This is going to be holding up Robbo. Round the outside, Robbo goes. And then still neck and neck. Who's later on the brakes into the chicane? It's going to be Robbo. And he's got the position now. But that's going to just hold him up a little bit. Could help even Matthew out for the lead of this race. Where's Matthew? He's getting towards the end of the pit lane now. Who's going to come out ahead? It's definitely going to be Robbo. But Matthew isn't that far behind, and he is on brand new softs. Will he be ahead of Josh McGill? Yes, he will. Now this has got spicy, because Lewis G, look at that undercut. He's 4 seconds up the road from Robbo. The gap will inevitably close down. He's 5 seconds behind Matthew, but Matthew is on those fresh softs. He will be looking to make way through the field very, very quickly as he's pressured by Josh McGill, but I'm sure Matthew is not feeling that right now. And Ross G playing the ultimate team game, trying to slow his teammates' championship rival down. Also trying to help his namesake out in winning this Grand Prix. That is incredibly wide, though, from Ross. As Matthew is now up behind him, but Ross will have DRS as well. But those softs just so powerful. And I'm sure Matthew will hopefully breeze past for his sake. But if he does get stuck behind, he could be in trouble here. He doesn't have that much battery, you know. And this is going to be holding him up. He does not want to be held up. Can he send a move to the inside? Ross G knows it's coming. Oh, he goes left, he goes right, and there's an inevitable contact. And through on the inside, Matthew goes. He's just got far superior grip. Ross G absolutely not able to fight that one. There's just so much more grip with those softs than the hards. And through the Aston Martin goes, and it could allow his teammate now running. It certainly is. I think he lets him through. I think he backed out and lets his teammate through. Great play there from Ross G. And that's now allowing Josh McGill on the back of Matthew, who's struggling for battery. A little bit of a wiggle from both Ferraris on the exit there. And Matthew only 1.4 seconds behind Robbo now, but on much fresher tyres. Well, 1 lap fresher tyres, but much better soft tyres. And you know what? At that point, Robbo could have just stayed out on the... gone on softs as well. Well, anyway, we'll see. We'll see how it pays off. Those softs will die towards the end of the race. Very high-speed circuit, tyre wear quite high. Ross G running very wide again. Surely he's going to get another penalty. That's twice we've seen him off the track. Josh McGill sticking in DRS very nicely. And this is what he needs, really, for his race. He needs Matthew to tow him up to the back of his championship rival. He doesn't want to overtake, doesn't want to hold him back. He wants Matthew to overtake Robbo. And he wants Matthew to bring him up to Robbo so that he can try and get ahead of Robbo as well. Take as many points away from that McLaren as he possibly can. It's not looking good for him right now, but it's the best he can do. And at the moment, he's still scoring points, which is great. And if Matthew can tow him up along to the back of Robbo, then they have a chance at a podium still. Because Lewis G is ahead, but he is on old hard. And I'm going to be honest, I would not like to be Lewis G right now. He's just got to keep his head down, not focus on the gap behind, just do the best race he can possibly do. He's doing incredibly well, in fairness. He's driving an excellent race, and that gap isn't coming down by catastrophic amounts. It's coming down by enough, but not by huge amounts. And Matthew's struggling to get in the DRS with Robbo as well. Robbo's showing really, really good pace at the moment. Just about getting DRS. Will Matthew get DRS this time round? He really needs it for his race. He just about has, I think. Yes, he has. He's just dropped out of it as they went into Magnussen Beckett's. Actually, he might not have gone, you know, because it's later than I thought, that detection point. No, he hasn't. Matthew has not got the DRS. That's very crucial, very crucial. He does have good straight line speed by the looks of it. And those extra grippy softs, he needs to use it. He needs to tag onto the back of Robbo here. And now this is an interesting play. If you're in the DRS, do you try and pounce as early as possible? Because you can then get Lewis G easier. If you get ahead of Robbo and you're in P2, you can overtake Lewis a bit easier. And then perhaps give him DRS and help him defend from Robbo to try and keep Robbo behind. But at the same time, you could wait. Save your battery a bit. Be a bit clever. Save your tyres. Let Robbo and Lewis G fight and then capitalise when they make an error. But if they don't make an error, you're in trouble. It's a very tactical game. It's how you want to play your cars. It's, you know, talking about Las Vegas this weekend. It's all about gambling a little bit. Danny gets the penalty. This is a brilliant strategic race. I absolutely enthralled by this. These are the sort of races I love. When people are on differing strategies and you don't really know what's best. And each one gives a major advantage in different parts of the race. So you think, oh, They're going to do well. And then suddenly it swings back in the direction of somebody else. You never quite know. You never quite work this out. Robbo, very close though, as Ross G gets another time penalty. I called that one. Come in. Will he make a move? No, he's not going to make a move. He's going to be very close to the back of that Alpine. That Alpine will know he's there. And I think that Alpine is going to put up a defence, but it's going to be a bit of a hopeless one at this point. He's not going to be able to hold on all that much. The hard tyres will get better and better as the race goes on. That undercut was huge, but the new tyre offset is also huge. And there we go. Is he going to make a move, Robbo, on the inside? No, he chooses not to. And Matthew not far behind, perhaps running a little bit wider line than he wanted to. A bit off-put maybe by how close the McLaren was. The McLaren very close to the back of the Alpine. Will he make a move here? He's not going to use any battery, but that DRS is incredibly powerful. Is he going to make a move to the inside? He tucks out of the slipstream, but gets back in it again and decides to back out for now. The DRS way more powerful in the second zone. But he's got to be wary of that Aston Martin in behind. And now Josh McGill's in the fight also, albeit a little bit further behind. Really not much battery on any of them. I would say Robbo and Lewis perhaps have a little bit more than anyone else, but not really by much. I'll tell you what, also further back, Paul is catching Pippo in the other McLaren, so that'll be an interesting battle to watch as these three go through Maggots, Beckett's and Stowe or whatever, Cops, who knows what it's called. Then he gets a penalty, and these three are going to be all the way side by side. Robbo goes to the inside. Matthew looks to follow him through, and it's going to be side by side for the Aston Martin and the Alpine. Who's going to have this one? The inside line for the Alpine now into the chicane, but Matthew will have the better tyres. Swoops around the outside and into P2 he goes, or does he? Yes, he does. He just about holds on to that. And through he goes, and that was crucial that he follows Robbo through, otherwise Robbo would have been gone. And now he needs to stick with him. This is absolutely important stages of this race for the win. Can Matthew stick with Robbo? Will Robbo drop him? How much does Matthew have in this tank? How much does Robbo have in his tank to fight with? I don't think any of them have much battery. Matthew will have DRS. Robbo steals a march on him through that first sector. I think running a bit more downforce perhaps. But running through here, DRS helps him catch up a little bit. Those soft tyres will be quicker, but for how much longer? Are they even slower already? Those mediums are great race tyres sometimes. Lewis G not being lost either. And Josh McGill also having a look at the back of his Alpine as Matthew runs wide. Oh no! Matthew gets a time penalty, and that has absolutely crushed the race for this victory. I don't know what to say. Josh McGill struggling for a straight line speed by the looks of it, and that is mightily disappointing. Matthew running wide. He stayed wide to try and hold it off, but it just wasn't enough. As now we can only really hope that Robbo gets the penalty. Robbo just doesn't even need to fight that hard. He just needs to stick it out here. Lewis G struggling to stay within the DRS. It will give Josh McGill now an opportunity, but he needs to get past as quick as possible before he's held up too much. Matthew now right all over the back of the gearbox of this McLaren. There's a bit of a slide coming out of it. He's not going to be close enough to make the move. Will Josh McGill be close enough to make the move? He might well be, you know. DRS wide open. He goes to the inside. Down he goes and holds the racing line. Great stuff from the Ferrari. Lewis G tried his best, but perhaps P4 the best he can come up with today. But he will be able to have a chance of fighting back at this, and he's going to do so. He's going to go into... Oh, there's contact there. Oh, Lewis G not happy, perhaps feeling that the Ferrari... Oh, there's a safety car. Safety car is out. Oh, that's spicing things up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Safety car out. What is everyone going to do? What is everyone going to do? Because there's going to be no laps of racing. There's going to be like 2 laps of racing. This is now this is spicy. This has absolutely turned this race on its head. Robbo in. Matthew in. Josh McGill in. Lewis G in. I mean, they kind of had... Oh! Oh my goodness, what has happened there? Matthew gets a 5-second penalty for contact. I did see that right. With Robert, he's ahead. Matthew's got a head into the pit lane, but he's got a penalty. So what has happened there? Rossi stays out. Will Matthew get that one removed by the stewards? Was that a legitimate penalty or not? He's obviously overtaken him on the way into the pit line. He's obviously been a bit ambitious, but perhaps made a bit of contact. I'm assuming. It was for contact, wasn't it? Not speeding. I'm not being silly. I'm just checking this now. Does it show me on here? No, it doesn't. No, I need the race director. Let's get the race director out. This is... Wow. Yeah, severe collision with Robbo. Now, if you're under yellows, the minute you have any contact, it gives you a straight 5-second penalty. So, he's obviously made contact with him, no matter how severe or minor, and it will give him a penalty. Now, this is interesting, because it's going to be a lot to pull a 3-second gap, I think. But if he can get past Rossi quickly and Robbo can't, he has a chance of pulling a 3-second gap. He definitely isn't going to pull 8 seconds. But if he can get that penalty removed, if he feels that that was an unjust penalty from the game, this has absolutely changed the course of this race. I don't think we're even going to know who's going to win this race. We may not know who's going to win this race until the stewards room. This could be a tough one. I mean, Robbo has the there you go. It was inevitable. We've only got 2 laps. It had to be. Flea gets a penalty for corner cutting. Paul's going to catch up. So Pippo, I think. Yeah, they will catch up to the pack and have quite warm tyres as well. I don't think Prof is going to. And this is why the guys at the back probably ought to just stayed out. D-Mac's still in the pit because they were never. It was always going to go in this lap. Always going to go in this lap. Roski is the de facto leader. When's he going to go? He is on aging hard tyres and with 2 penalties to his name. I don't know why he's done that. Matthew is going to make a brilliant restart. It's unsurprisingly on those softs. Is he going to go to the inside? He's going to try it, but he can't quite make the move stick in there. He's not been able to save up all that much battery. He's going to go down the inside. What a move for the race lead from Matthew. The camera angles are absolutely atrocious, but he has the race lead. Josh McGill now making a move. Robbo's got through as well. Now Matthew and Robbo are going to be fighting it out for the lead of this race. I did not see Robbo come through as well, but now Robbo will take the outside line. Matthew has lower wings. He has the inside line, and now Josh McGill is getting in the fray. He's going to take the inside line, which becomes the outside for the long hairpin. Can he make a move on the McLaren? Can he challenge and try and get ahead of his championship rival and put a spanner in the works? He will be certainly hoping so, but he can't quite do so at the moment. They are nose to tail going into the old start-finish straight, and Rossi drops back massively from these guys, but this is a brilliant ending to this race. Josh McGill all over the back of the McLaren all over the back of the Aston Martin. Josh McGill looks like he will get a great exit out of there. They'll all be burning battery. They are nose to tail. It could be 3 wide potentially. The slipstream is so powerful. Matthew will hold on to the lead for now. Robbo just needs to hold this position. Josh McGill will want to try and make a move, but he's got a penalty as well. Josh McGill runs wide, but he's going to go around the outside of his championship rival. He turns to the inside. What is going on? There's contact. Josh McGill is round. Unbelievable scenes. I'm sure he is not happy with that at all. He got forced wide, he got a penalty, and then he went round the outside, which became the inside, and that has resulted in spinning. I think this is going to be a lot busier in the stewards' room. I'm losing my voice. We are on to the final lap. Robbo is right behind Matthew. Matthew will inevitably lose this race victory because of his penalty, even if he gets his 5-second removed. At this point, unless there is a big mistake from the guys behind. Lewis G set on course for a P2. This has massive implications on the championship. Massive. We'll have to see who comes out in the end. Robbo may win this on or off track with the penalties, but he's going to want to take it on track, and he's absolutely pushing Matthew through these set of corners. He just has more battery. Matthew was not able to save enough battery. Robbo a bit clever under safety car. I noticed he was holding back and he's been saving his battery. And I think this is going to be the inevitable. He's got more battery. He is flashing though, so he doesn't have all that much more. Round the outside, can he go? No, he cannot. Matthew puts up a stellar defence and holds for the lead. Will he make a last minute lunge? No, there's no point doing so. Paul all over the back of Lewis G in the background, but we're watching the lead. Across the line comes Matthew to take the race victory, but Robbo will get it after penalties. Lewis G gets P2. Paul with a massive comeback in P3. Fantastic stuff for him. Pippo in P4. Matthew drops all the way to P5 in the end. Will he get that 5 seconds removed? Time will tell. Bugatti, great stuff in 6th. Josh McGill, P7, and I'm sure not very happy at all. The two Ferraris went from potentially a double podium to 7th and 8th. Wow. Wow. I'm lost for words. I'm absolutely lost for words. This once again has thrown up some controversy and drama. We should be used to seeing this in the Monday tier. This is every week. So do tune in every week because it's brilliant. Lewis G gets driver of the day. Who's my driver of the day? No, that's an interesting question. That is an interesting question. I think Lewis G does have a good argument in his favour. But I think, for me, there is one driver who, okay, helped by the safety car at the end. I won't deny. But had a great race, and even up to that point, had done the maximum he could. After spinning on that one, I would give my driver of the day to Paul. And I think he had a stellar comeback, and to come home on the podium, that's fantastic drive, fantastic from him. But Robbo, your race victor, they're taking the spoils. But will there be a penalty incoming for him? We didn't get any camera view of that incident. The Codemaster was absolutely shocking as always. Didn't give us a camera view. Was there contact between him and Josh McGill? It seemed that there were. Such a tricky corner to go side by side. Such a pinch point. It's hard to hold it on the inside. It's hard to give room on the outside. Did Robbo give enough room? Time will tell. We couldn't tell. I think the stewards are going to be having a look at it without a shadow of a doubt. Could there be a penalty incoming if there was? We don't know. We don't know. We'll find out very soon. But until then, Robbo takes the win. We don't even get to see the standings. Amazing stuff. Thank you very much. But yeah, thanks for joining, everyone. What a great race. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Thank you for joining me. But until then, good night.